Dr. Parshuraman, Dr. Khandelwal, Dr. Sarat Bhaumik, Dr. Bagrodia, Kumar, whom I just heard speaking so brilliantly, HR professionals, chief learning officers, and my very dear young students. Let me go straight away to the topic at hand and look at these three alphabets that stare out at us at this particular conclave, CLO. I know that many professionals across the entire HR firmament don't even know what that stands for. And Kumar was quite correct in saying that when he initially conceived of this idea 9 months ago, CLO question mark thing just hung over every concept. What will happen though is that as the knowledge economy grows and as cross-sectoral teams begin to operate and as the value of organizational learning climbs up the points ladder in companies, the position of the CLO is likely to make its real mark in the coming years. So the way the CLO brings about that change in a quiet, gentle, meaningful way is really the task of that CLO. The success of the CLO is bringing about change, not by trying to ram it through the CEO and everyone else, but bringing about that change in a meaningful way that doesn't shake the organization from its roots. But nevertheless, any change you do requires courage and conviction. In the new era that we live in the new era of the knowledge economy, it is for the CLO today to take the opportunity to be able to instill learning as a regular process within the organization. And because of these very new exciting ideas, like the ideas of the idea champion, I hope that CLOs will move from strength to strength. Organizations will look at CLOs as essential to the work that they do.
This is the CLO Summit, and here we are to decipher exactly the summit. I've gone for a workshop just before that, which was more of a learning experience. It was a leadership summit kind of workshop, and that was more classroom oriented. Things that you're more used to. And the second one, which was more adventurous in nature. Putting the two together, one could be able to decipher a little bit more about the role of learning and what it does for a team. I was able to understand how a team dynamic functions better, what it takes to be able to overcome challenges. That's what we're trying to do over here. Let me begin by asking you, Mr. Arun Balakrishnan, exactly in your experience, this kind of formal, structured way of going about learning and development, how have you seen it?
We don't have anybody with the designation of a chief learning officer, but what I would say is that our director of human resources, he plays the role of a chief learning officer. But in addition to that, I should also say, all the functional directors, including the chairman of the company, are also in a way a chief learning officer. Or if collectively the role is played there.
Right.
And there are many facets to this. One is that we say that no individual would take a decision per se. And we have got into the system of taking collective decision, always through a process of consultation. I think that is the first step in actually learning for an organization. For each individual, a profile is drawn based on his leadership competencies and his technical competencies. And if there are drawbacks, the HR department, there's a system of working out what is called an individual development plan for each of the officers, especially at the lower levels, to clearly identify what are his strengths and what are his weaknesses. And we go through an organized program again to ensure that his strengths are strengthened. Mm-hmm. And we teach the person how to manage his weaknesses.
Right.
Okay, so this is another way of doing it.
Right.
Plus we have many other initiatives like outstanding achievers and many other forums
but
like that.
I want to take you up on that social networking as a tool to be able to get this entire learning and getting the employees involved as a tool of taking it 2 notches up. Has there been any kind of social networking where you are?